What's up guys, Dokkan Strats here, and in today's video I kind of just want to talk about Dragon Ball Z, Dokkan Battle, and Dragon Ball Legends. Now I'm going to have the conversation with you guys, the community, about which one is better. Now obviously Dokkan Battle has been out for years and Dragon Ball Legends has been out for months, and not a lot of months. So we're talking about a new game versus an old game. And I kind of just want to dive into the pros and the cons and what Dragon Ball Legends can learn from Dokkan Battle and whatnot, and just have a discussion with you guys. So feel free to leave comments and all that jazz. The first thing I want to talk about is the difference in gameplay. Now obviously the gameplay is vastly different from Dokkan Battle in Dragon Ball Legends. It's 3D characters, you're controlling what they do, what attack they do, literally. And in Dokkan Battle, your characters have set moves that they can do based on the attack path you give them. I personally like Dokkan's gameplay more, and I think a part of that is because it's been out for a while. There's a ton of characters, and those characters, those cards are fleshed out. They've given them different super attacks, yada yada. In Dragon Ball Legends, it's a little repetitive. And I don't think that's because their characters aren't fleshed out yet. I think that's because you're limited to 3 or 4 attacks in some cards' cases. Like Goku can do the strike attack, the ki attack, the little ki attack, and his super attack, and other characters can't even do that super attack technically. And it's repetitive. You're swiping forward, you're just tapping that button. And that's not to say Dokkan isn't repetitive either, but Dokkan requires a bit of strategy depending on what level of the game you're on, beginner or not beginner. But in Legends, it's just whether you're playing PvP or the story, it's repetitive, and it just feels that way to me. If you guys disagree and you just love Dragon Ball Legends gameplay like that and you don't think it's repetitive, just let me know why, and we'll have a conversation about it. The other thing, well, not the other thing, but one thing I do enjoy about Legends is the effort, and you can obviously tell there's effort going in. And I think that's important because this game, Dragon Ball Legends, will only survive if enough effort is put in, because it requires a lot more effort by the developers to make it good. Dokkan, with the gameplay specifically, you're dealing with a system that requires a lot of juice, for the lack of a better term. And in Legends, you're dealing with gameplay that requires a lot more juice from the phone itself, and that it's gonna take longer, and it's gonna be harder for them to pump out content, because in Dokkan it's probably easier because of the type of gameplay and the graphics and such. You're dealing with 3D models in Legends, and just from a game perspective, like a game developer's perspective, that's obviously much harder. It takes much more time to create. The other thing about Legends that I really enjoy is the character leveling up system and how far it is already. The game hasn't been out for that long, and you already have characters. For example, if you go to Soul Boost, and my Goku is only level 600, but you have 2 tiers of leveling, and you can get, I think it's up to 4. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. And there's just so much detail into that, and the game hasn't even been out that long. Like Dokkan, the hidden potential system was not there in the beginning. So that's the thing as well with Legends, is they're taking note to what they need to make the game sell. And I just think it's a matter of time before they release something like an LR that was in Dokkan, something like that will probably be released maybe in the next few months for Dragon Ball Legends. There's really no way to tell, but if we look at the banners in Legends right now, they're pumping out banners like pretty fast, and I just think, you know what, let's do our daily summons right here, right now. Let's do it. Let's see what we get here in Dragon Ball Legends. Let's see if we can get a sparking card. You know, it's funny because this game was debuted. They showed it off before it released, obviously, and I was super impressed with what they were trying to do. And I was curious onto how it was going to work. And I'm not disappointed, of course. We got Gilbo. I was not disappointed, and I don't think anyone was disappointed. It's just, it's so weird because Dokkan Battle has been out for so long, and the game has been it's doing so well for itself, which is hard for a game to do in today's market, because there's constantly new things coming out, constantly better things coming out. So it was really impressive that they came out with something like Legends, and it's also impressive that Dokkan Battle is still kind of thriving, and I think a big part of that is they're also releasing content. Ooh, what do we got here? Nothing special. That's what. Dokkan Battle, it's still thriving. 3-year anniversary is coming out. It's definitely part of the reason why it's still doing decent. But I just think they're gonna keep coming out with stuff, because I think they realize that they still have an audience and they still have players that love that game, and also people have dumped so much money and time into Dokkan Battle, and if they shut it down, they would have a backlash. Things would not go good. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think there's just 2 really cool, really fun Dragon Ball Z games out on mobile right now, and it's awesome. Like I said in the beginning of the video, personally, my heart is with Dokkan, just because I've been playing it for so long. I'm pretty invested, and it's a great game. It's a great game. Dragon Ball Legends, I'm going to be playing it a bunch too. We'll see where it goes. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the characters they bring in, if they will introduce more attacks. Like I said, right now they have the strike attacks, the key attacks, and the super attacks. The Dragon Rush, I guess, counts, but yeah. Alright guys, I think that's it. I've ran out of stuff to talk about. The other thing, wait, real quick, is the difference between the stones and the crystals. I personally like the numbers that the stones worked off, that the dragon stones worked off of, rather than the crystals. Needing 1,000 crystals to multi-summon, or it's not called multi-summoning in Dragon Ball Legends, consecutive summon. I think it's just a little bit more. It sounds like you're gathering a lot more, and I'm just confused as why they went with that. I think part of the reason was to trick people a little bit into how much it requires to consecutive summon, but I also think they were trying to be different from Dokkan Battle. I personally like the Dragon Stone numbers better. It's I don't know, it just makes more sense to me that it costs 5 stones to do a single summon, and instead of 100 crystals to do a single summon, and 50 stones to do a multi, and 1,000 crystals to do a consecutive summon. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion. If you guys like the video, please like the video, comment, conversate, tag people, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it. All right, peace out.
I don't know where you got it in your head that there's something wrong with you, because there's not. You've saved my life and our friend's life so many times, and you're going to